And behind me, the 2018 Toyota Camry Hybrid. Now, this isn't just a step up, this is an all-new car.
Actually, one of the things we tried to do is make the hybrid models very similar to the gas models, with the exception that it has an ECVT, so an electronically controlled variable transmission.
Right,
versus
instead of
the
the 8-speed.
Yes,
Right,
but
right.
really, features-wise, for example, this XLE has 18-inch chrome wheels. So does the gas version.
It's interesting, I'm driving this car and I'm not feeling a big difference between, say, the 4-cylinder and this one. They feel very similar so far.
Well, they both share the same engine.
So it's
That makes a lot of sense.
And it's exactly the same engine.
Yes.
Wow. And this car, in terms of as it's set up right now, is a regular hybrid. There's no plug-in hybrid option. Am I correct?
No, right now Camry is not available in the plug-in hybrid.
What other unique components make up this car over, say, the regular 4-cylinder?
Really, as I have mentioned, not too much. I mean, they really are almost identical. It really comes down to that transmission, which is what allows us to have the better fuel economy, and obviously the fact that it has an electric motor and a battery, so it's not just running on the engine, but it has all of the same great features that are available in the gas models. It's going to have the standard Toyota safety sense, so I'm going to get things like pre-collision system, lane departure alert with steering assist, automatic high beams, full speed range, dynamic radar cruise control. So it's really just a more fuel efficient version of our 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder models.
And these start at $24,000.
Isn't that wonderful?
That is a lot less expensive than I anticipated. It's interesting because some of the other vehicles that are out there, when you look at their base price, you always have to add something to it. But from what you guys have told me, the 24 is a realistic number that you can stick with and still get several features.
Yes, and we have made so many more standard features now in the Camry that it's almost a challenge to add on additional options.
That's a heck of a thing to say. That's a bold statement.
But it's wonderful. I know that I'm going to be getting our XSE V6, and there are only 3 options that I can add to it, with the exception of accessories.
Now, there is one option that's very interesting with this car, and that is the sunroof. It's a different type of sunroof setup than the other Camrys that I've driven.
Yes, so the 6-cylinder models and then our XSE or XLE 4-cylinder, you can get a panoramic roof. So there's glass back here, but it's fixed. But this is the part that can retract. Right. And it's heavier, naturally. So we didn't put it as an available option in the hybrids.
Well, that makes sense. What about the two-tone black on the regular colors that you can get?
Okay, so we do have new color options. It's a 2-tone black roof on either our Windchill Pearl, which is like a white, Blue Streak Metallic, or Celestial Silver, but that's only available on the XSE model. So you can't get that in a hybrid, but you can get it in a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder XSE.
But with this vehicle, aside from the one emblem that says hybrid, there is nothing on it to really differentiate it.
Look at it from the exterior, it looks just like a 4-cylinder XLE, with the exception of, like you said, it will say hybrid on it. And then in the front, the Toyota emblem has a blue halo around it.
So there, and that's a funny thing, the actual blue halo emblem is about the only thing you would find that matches the old Camry.
Yes.
Everything else is completely unique.
Oh yeah, the 2018 Camry is truly all new. The only thing that carried over from our previous generation is the Toyota emblem.
Even the word Camry on the back is different. They actually have it with separate letters to make it look more premium.
Yeah, a little more refined, a little more upscale, and that's something we don't traditionally do as a company, Toyota, but we really wanted to take a new styling approach with the 2018 Camry, show everyone what direction we're going into as a brand, and I personally love it.
It's definitely a step in the right direction. So what makes this car different? Well, there are a couple things. First of all, the fact that this is a hybrid, but you could barely tell. I mean, without the badges, it would be almost impossible to tell. They wanted to keep it as Camry-like as possible, so it doesn't have unique tires, it doesn't really have a unique suspension, so to speak. As a matter of fact, it still has the double wishbone rear suspension. What they did was they moved the batteries from the trunk underneath the back seat, and that allowed, for one, a trunk that's full size, the same size as the other Camrys, and 2, better weight distribution between the front end and the rear end, according to Toyota engineers.
Now the trunk is the same size, and a new benefit for the hybrid, before you couldn't fold down the seats. They weren't 60-40 split.
Right.
So now they are.
So it's basically the same thing as the other two cars. You lose nothing
Nope.
But you gain MPG, and that's the crazy part. The MPG in this car is really close to the Prius.
Yes.
Let's see, is it 51 city, 52 highway? Or?
Well, that's actually the LE. Yes, the LE, you can get 51, 53, 52.
One of the interesting things about the Camry, this version of it, is that it's a longer, lower, wider vehicle. Has a hood that's actually down an inch, but it still has very high levels of comfort, headroom, shoulder room, all of that. So it seems like it's been stretched on the inside to be a more commodious interior.
Well, a little bit. Part of that is due to our new attention to how our vehicles are being built and designed from initial creation. That's our Toyota New Global Architecture. So you'll start seeing more of our cars with a lower center of gravity, a wider stance, have the double wishbone suspension. And what we did is we lowered the hip point of the seats so that you didn't lose any headroom, even though we lowered the roof and the hood. And actually the car is also 1 inch lower than the previous generation. And you're right, it's a little bit longer, a little bit wider, but still handles beautifully. Yeah, I'm really excited about the V6 getting 301 horsepower. That was really exciting when I found out those official numbers.
You know what really surprised me? I found out this morning the quad exhaust actually makes a difference on the 4-cylinder, because you get 203 horsepower normally, but if you have the XSE, it puts out 206 horsepower. And the engineer said it was because of the quad exhaust.
Yep, that's all due to having a little bit better airflow.
There are 3 trim levels for hybrid, am I correct?
That is right. We have an LE hybrid, so that's our entry level. Still comes with great standard features. That's the one that's going to get you the Prius-like fuel economy. Then when you move up to the SE, it's a little sportier upgrade, and you can tell the grille is a little more aggressive and a sport mesh grille. Then when you move up to the XLE, you just get more features and a little more high-end styling.
Hybrids have really come a long way, and this particular vehicle is a really good example of where they're going, because it drives just like a regular car. There's nothing inside that's fancy, but at the same time, you're getting around 52 miles per gallon combined, and that is stunning. For the Fast Lane Car, this is Nathan Adlin. Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, real-world reviews, and more hybrid goodness.